The rain had been falling since morning. Not the gentle kind that washes dust away, but the heavy, angry rain that makes the earth tremble. Inside a small mud house near the river lived a poor family, a mother, a father, 2 little sons, and a tiny daughter who still slept in her mother's arms that night. The children were laughing. The elder brother was telling stories. The younger one clapped his hands, and the little sister held her mother's finger like it was the safest thing in the world. The mother smiled. She did not know this would be the last time she would see them all together. Outside, the river had begun to roar. Villagers shouted warnings, but floods had come before and left. This time was different. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the night. The river broke its limits. Water rushed into homes like a wild beast set free. The father grabbed the children. Run, he shouted. The mother held her daughter tightly, her heart pounding harder than the rain. Before they could reach the door, the wall collapsed. Water swallowed everything. The mother felt her grip loosen. A force stronger than her love pulled her child away. She screamed. She reached out. Hand slipped. Fingers disappeared. In the chaos, she saw her husband trying to hold the boys. One moment he was there, the next gone. The water dragged them all into darkness. The mother hit her head against floating wood. She lost consciousness when she woke up. Silence. The rain had stopped. The river had calmed. After destroying lives, she lay on a broken tree. Alone, no children crying, no husband calling her name, only mud, broken homes, and death. She screamed their names until her voice died. No answer. People searched. Days passed. Bodies were found, but not hers. No sons, no daughter, no husband. The villagers said softly, Allah Kimazi, accept it. But how does a mother accept an empty heart? She refused to believe they were gone, because a mother knows when her children are alive. Even hope breathes. That was the night everything was taken, and that was the night waiting began. Morning came, but light brought no comfort. The village woke up to broken homes, mud-covered streets, and names that would never be called again. The mother sat near the river. Her clothes were torn, her hair full of dirt, but her eyes searched only one thing: her children. Rescue teams came. Villagers formed lines. They searched the water, the trees, the ruins. Every time someone shouted, her heart jumped. Every time a body was pulled out, her breath stopped. She ran. She looked. Not my child. Not my husband. Again and again. By sunset, her legs could no longer carry her. She collapsed near the riverbank. A woman from the village held her shoulders and whispered, "They are gone. You must be strong. Strong. What strength remains when your arms are empty and your soul is torn apart?" That night, she did not sleep. She sat outside the remains of her house, staring at the sky. She remembered small things: her daughter's laugh, her sons fighting over food, her husband's tired smile after work. Memories became knives. Days turned into weeks. The search slowly stopped. People rebuilt houses. Life tried to move on, but she did not. Every morning she went to the river. Every evening she returned alone. She asked travelers, rescue workers, anyone who would listen, "Have you seen 2 boys and a little girl? Have you seen my children?" Some looked away. Some shook their heads. Some lied just to stop her tears. But a mother's heart knows truth from pity. Hunger became normal. Cold became familiar. Loneliness became her shadow. She sold her jewelry, then her utensils, then her pride. Still she kept searching. At night, she spoke to the wind, "Bring them back to me. Even if they are hurt, even if they are angry, just bring them back." Sometimes she dreamed. In her dreams, her children ran toward her laughing. She woke up smiling, then realized the truth and cried until morning. Years passed. Wrinkles appeared on her face. Her hair turned gray. But one thing never changed. She waited. People began to call her the woman who lost everything, but they were wrong. She had not lost everything. She still had hope. And as long as hope lived, her children lived somewhere in this world. She did not know it yet, but far away, 3 lives were growing, carrying the same pain, the same memory, and the same unanswered question: where is our mother? Time did not heal her. It only taught her how to live with pain. The village slowly returned to normal. New houses were built. Children were born. Laughter came back. But her home remained empty. She moved to a small rented room near the old river road, close enough to hear the water at night, close enough to feel her children near. She worked wherever she could, cleaning homes, washing clothes, carrying bricks at construction sites. Her hands became rough. Her back bent. Her body aged faster than the years. Yet every coin she earned was spent on one thing only: searching. She traveled to nearby towns. She visited shelters and orphan homes. She stood at bus stops and markets, watching every child pass by. Some children looked like her sons. Some smiled like her daughter. Her heart raced every time she approached strangers gently. "Beta, what is your name? Where are you from?" When the answer was not what she hoped, she smiled politely and walked away, then cried where no one could see. People mocked her. Why does she still search? They must be dead. But grief does not listen to logic, and a mother's love does not understand endings. Night, she talked to her memories. She cooked small meals, then realized there was no one to eat. She folded tiny clothes she had saved from the flood. smelling them as if her children were still inside. Festivals came. Other mothers tied bracelets on their sons' wrists. She sat alone, holding broken threads. Weddings passed. She imagined her sons grown, her daughter dressed in red, calling her Amy, but reality stayed silent. Years turned into decades. Her hair turned white. Her eyes grew weak, yet every morning she woke up with the same question. What if today is the day? Sometimes, she helped lost children find their parents. She watched reunions from a distance, smiling through tears. Allah, you returned them. Why not mine? But she never complained loudly. Her pain was quiet. Her prayers were whispered. She believed her children were alive because somewhere deep inside, a mother knows when her story is unfinished, far away. 3 young souls were growing up, separate lives, separate struggles, but the same empty space in their hearts. They had survived the flood, but lost their roots, and every night, each of them asked the same question to the darkness: who was our mother? The flood did not kill them, it scattered them. The 2 brothers and the little sister were pulled apart by the water, each thrown into a different corner of fate. He woke up on a muddy riverbank, his body weak, his head bleeding. A fisherman found him. He was taken to a distant village, given a new name, a new home. But no matter how kind the people were, something inside him stayed empty. A night, he dreamed of a woman calling his name, her voice soft, broken, familiar. He grew up fast. Work replaced childhood. Responsibility replaced laughter. He was found by relief workers, half conscious, clinging to a broken piece of wood. He moved through shelters, orphan homes, temporary places that never felt like home. Every place asked the same questions. What is your name? Where are your parents? And every time, he answered with silence because he did not know. He remembered 2 things clearly: a woman crying, and a small hand slipping from his dot. As he grew older, he became quiet, reserved. He learned not to expect love because love had once disappeared without warning. But deep inside, he promised himself one thing: one day, I will find where I came from. She was the youngest. The water carried her the farthest. A childless couple found her near the road, wrapped in wet cloth, barely breathing. They raised her as their own. She was loved. She was protected, but even love could not erase the strange sadness she carried. She often asked questions he could not explain. Why do I feel lost? Why do I cry without knowing why? As she grew, she dreamed of a woman with tired eyes, holding her close. She would wake up calling Amy. The word came from somewhere deep, a place memory could not reach. Years passed. The brothers became young men. The sister became a young woman. Different cities, different lives, yet all 3 shared the same feeling. Something was missing. On the same night, in 3 different places, they looked at the moon, and all 3 whispered the same prayer: whoever you are, if you are alive, please find us. They did not know it yet, but their mother was still waiting, still searching, still alive, only because she believed her children were alive. It started with questions. Questions that refused to stay quiet any longer. The elder brothers questioned. He was the first to ask it out loud. One evening, while helping an old fisherman mend nets, he heard the river's name mentioned. The same river, the same year. Something inside him trembled. He asked softly, do you remember the flood? Many years ago. The fisherman paused. I remember mothers crying, he said. I remember children missing. That night, the elder brother could not sleep. He searched records. He asked elders. He followed rumors. Every path led back to the same truth. Children were lost. Families were destroyed. Some were never found. And somewhere in that loss was him. For the younger brother, the search began with anger. Anger at not knowing who he was. Anger at growing up without roots. He visited the shelter where he had once stayed. Most files were gone, but one old register remained. Yet every time he saw a mother holding her child, his heart tightened. Someone once held me like that, he thought, but he could not remember her face clearly, only her warmth. A faded note read, boy found after flood, from Riverside Village. No name, no parents, only a place. That place became his direction. If my past exists, he whispered, it exists there. Asterisk, she did not search with papers, she searched with her heart. One day, she met a woman selling bangles at a bus stop. The woman looked tired, familiar. Without thinking, the sister asked Amy. The word escaped her lips. The woman smiled sadly, not your Amy Beta. But that moment changed everything. She realized the truth. I am looking for someone who still lives inside me. She began asking her adoptive parents questions. They told her what little they knew. A flood, a road, a miracle survival. Her heart beat faster. Asterisk, while they searched from different directions. Their mother searched the only way she knew how, by waiting. She still walked to the river every Friday. She still asked travelers. Her body was weak now, her steps slow. People told her, rest, you are old. She smiled. How can a mother rest when her children have not returned? That same week, she heard something new. A stranger asked in the market, does anyone remember a family lost in the flood? 2 boys and a little girl. Her heart stopped. For the first time in years, the question was not hers. She followed the voice. Her hand shook. Who are you searching for? She asked. The stranger described the children. Her children. Tears filled her eyes, not of grief, but of fear and hope colliding. Where did you hear this? She whispered. The stranger pointed down the road. They are searching for you. That night, 3 young hearts beat faster and 1 old heart prayed harder than ever. Paths that had been broken by water were quietly coming back together. Waiting was about to end. The road was long, but for the first time in years, no one felt tired. The mother walked slowly, leaning on a stick, her heart beating faster than her weak body allowed. Every step whispered the same fear. What if it's not them? What if hope breaks again? Ahead, 3 young people stood near the old bus stop. They looked ordinary to the world, but to her heart, they were everything. She stopped, her breath trembled. She looked at their faces, one by one. The elder boy's eyes, the same eyes her husband once had. The younger one's scar, from the night he fell while running in the rain. And the girl, her heart screamed before her lips moved. My daughter. The girl felt it, before understanding why. She ran forward. Amy, she whispered, unsure, afraid. The word broke something inside the old woman. She dropped her stick. Her knees touched the ground. She opened her arms that had waited decades. Yes, she cried. Yes, I am your Amy. Time collapsed. People watched from a distance as a mother held her children like she was afraid the world might steal them. Again the brothers stood frozen. Then the elder one fell to his knees. It's you, he said, tears streaming. We were alive, and you were waiting. The younger brother hugged her tightly, his voice breaking like a child's. We searched, but you searched longer. The mother touched their faces again and again, counting them as she used to when they were small. 1, 2, 3. All there. All alive. For the first time since the flood, her heart felt full. She laughed and cried at the same time, a sound the world had forgotten from her. I spoke to the river every day, she said softly. I told it, you can take my life, but return my children. The river had listened late, but not too late. That night they sat together in a small room, no riches, no luxury. But warmth filled every corner. The sister slept with her head in her mother's lap like she once did as a baby. The brothers watched quietly, their eyes heavy with peace. Years of pain did not disappear, but they finally made sense. Waiting had ended, loss had found meaning, and a mother who survived the impossible was finally no longer alone.